My name is Brian Buckelew. My first name is with an I. My last name is Buckelew. I'm a deputy DA in Santa Clara County. So I just wanted, before I take any questions or hear any questions, I want to talk to you a little bit about what happened. Today, Aldon Smith changed his plea and he pled no contest to all the counts in both cases. So that's the 3 felony counts of illegally possessing the firearm. It's 2 counts regarding the misdemeanor DUI, and then a 3rd count regarding a license plate switch on the vehicle that was used during the DUI. So what happened is the judge set out the sentencing to July 25th. And at that,
start that sentence over.
Excuse me?
Just start that sentence over.
Yeah. The next step is the court set the sentencing to July 25th at 9 a.m. At that point, we will deal with the sentence. Right now, it's not determined, so I can't speak to it.
Is it a court offer where the judge will make the determination?
So the judge will make the determination about the proper sentence.
Was the deal being made all this time right up until we went back into court?
I don't want to talk specifically about how. Hold on. I don't want to talk specifically about how this came to be, other than it is, and we just did it.
Is there a range?
Why did the DA's office agree to a plea?
So people have the right to change their plea at all times, and right now what happened is the defendant, Mr. Smith, changed his plea on all counts, so it wasn't a negotiated plea deal with the DA's office. He changed his plea, and the sentencing will be determined by the court. And that's the difference between a plea bargain where you see charges dropped or an agreed sentence. Here he merely changed his plea, and the sentencing will be determined at a later date.
But is there a bottom, middle, and a top? I mean,
no.
So it's what it is on
It's the range. It's from 0 days to 4 years and 4 months.
Were arrangements made for Mr. Sorry, can you say that again?
So, as opposed to other plea deals where there is a negotiated disposition and sentence, right now there is no negotiated disposition and sentence. The judge will determine, after hearing from both parties, what the proper sentence is going to be. And that's a range from no custody time to 4 years and 4 months in prison, although it's pursuant to a new penal code section where you serve it in county jail.
So you're saying the office made no plea deal with Aldon Smith?
Correct.
So a no contest plea is tantamount to a guilty plea? Just to explain that?
Yeah, so the no contest plea is treated as a guilty plea for all purposes other than it doesn't incur any civil liability. So if it was attended to a civil case, it would not be an admission of guilt. But for all other purposes, it is an admission of guilt, and that's what the judge did. He took the no contest plea, and he found the defendant guilty of everything.
Brian, help us understand his motivation for making the new plea today.
That I cannot do because I don't know. And that's not my job. It's not a conversation that I've had with Mr. Smith. That's something that he had with his lawyer, presumably with his family, but I can't speak to it.
Are you going to urge a specific? Is it then by him changing his no contest, it's up to the judge now to decide what happens, and how significant is it that he changed his plea in terms of for the judge's point of view?
Could you address the cameras?
Yeah, I don't understand the question.
By him changing his plea.
By avoiding the
Would that be a
trial.
mitigating
Will
factor?
the judge be more lenient?
Yeah, I think traditionally when people change their pleas, especially before the preliminary hearing, there's an acceptance of responsibility that is factored in by the sentencing court, and I don't see why this case would differ in any way from that.
Are you going to argue any specific time for the sentence?
I'm not going to talk about that.
Was Mr. Smith taken into custody?
No.
Is it strictly up to the
Were
judge?
arrangements made for him to leave from another exit other than this one?
I have no idea.
So what you're saying is he didn't receive any special treatment?
None.
Two more questions.
So Mr. Smith didn't receive any preferential treatment. He just pled guilty to the entire sheet on both cases. The sentencing is to be determined by the judge, so there's nothing preferential about it when you eat the entire thing.
Are judges tending to be more lenient when somebody does
Not more lenient, but like I said before, there is an acceptance by the court that the defendant has admitted responsibility early in the proceedings. And that's something to consider. It's important that Aldon Smith stepped up today and took responsibility for both cases. And that's something I anticipate that the court will consider.